Okay, everyone, welcome to the first ever East Toronto Basketball League podcast. In case you guys don't know, that's what ETBL stands for. We got a great group of guys lined up today, panel, and we got some great topics to talk about. Let me start off by, you introduce yourself first, Randy.
Yeah, so my name is Randy. Season 5 champion, Season 5 GM of the year. Shout out to the Clippers.
Okay.
You know who you are. And that's me. I'm here.
Sweet Lou.
All right. Lou, I play for the Jazz this season, and we're in pursuit of that title. We'll see what happens.
My name is Abhiram. I like Ray to introduce me, though.
All right. This is Abhiram, the worst basketball player in the family. His team is currently out of the playoffs and will not be in the playoffs. He's just here to represent the bottom of the standings. And then you got myself, Season 1 champ, 3-time GM of the year, and current bench warmer for the Thunder.
What?
All right, so some housekeeping stuff before. I just want to let everyone else who's going to be watching this know. Don't get in your feelings, guys. We are going to mention some names, not mention some teams. Use this as motivation. If you think that you should have been mentioned in the MVP candidates or the X Factor or whatnot, show us on the court that you deserve to be mentioned on the next podcast. I mean, I'm assuming there's the next one. I honestly don't even know how the commish got us to do this. He's not paying any of us, and it looks like we're shooting this in his OnlyFans room right here. So let's talk about the topics we got on hand. We've got MVP race, the early candidate for MVP race. We've got pretenders, contenders. We've got X Factors, glue guys, and a segment that I like to call what really grinds my gears. So let's first start off with topic 1, which is your early MVP candidates. Like, each of you guys give me 3 names.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, just for that we know what categorizes as an MVP or what the requirements are. Your team's got to be 500 or better, and you've had to have played 5 games in the regular season. So, Randy, you want to kick this off? Who's your guys?
Certainly. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased here. I'm gonna start off with my guy, Coach Joe.
No, talk your shit.
Come on.
Joe Vella's been killing it all season long, hitting his threes, and just getting buckets. Second, I got Guerin from the Blazers.
Yep.
Man's been balling. He's always been balling.
Yep.
And he's got a good, well-rounded team around him that just makes him better. And the third one, we got a Zareb from the Thunder.
Yes, sir.
This guy's been eating up all the boards all season, making his team overall number 2.
And make sure
Fighting
that bench
for
is
number
warm
1
for him.
spot.
When he comes to the bench, it's nice and warm for him. No pulling any hammies for my boy Z.
He's got some young legs, getting up and down the court,
Yeah.
and he's just a monster on the rebounds. So good for him. And those 3 are my 3 candidates.
For me, I got Guerin and Z as well, for all the same reasons. Guerin's an absolute dog. Z's a monster on the boards. I watched this guy have 12 offensive rebounds to win the game against the Sixers. Guy's an absolute stud. And my third, I took a bit of a different route. I got Adrian from the Suns.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
He's top in steals. He's a great point guard. His leadership's amazing.
That's the part of that I didn't see when he was playing on the Pistons. He had other guys with him.
Yeah.
He didn't need to, but we were talking about this in the I can't remember which game it was, but he controlled the subs from being on the floor. And one of the things, the hardest things about being coach and GM at the same time is if you're playing you're the best player on the court, you're trying to juggle minutes and lineup changes. And that was, I remember that. Yeah, he was very vocal. I never seen him be that vocal before.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to his team too. He's got a bunch of younger guys around him.
He's got to do it.
So he's taking on that role really well.
Yeah.
So I got Z number 1 for my MVP. He's just 12 points, 13 rebounds, averaging 2.5 steals per game as well on 50% shooting. Just grabbing all of Ray's misses, a lot of them. So he's grabbing a lot of those.
I got boy Z.
Got him first, and I got Joe second. Just light out shooter. I watched that Sixers game. He literally brought you guys way back.
Snapped.
Like
Yeah,
he
he
snapped,
snapped.
pulling from like the red line, like near
Snapped.
half court.
Yeah, the only half court
got
shot
you
was
that-
nasty.
The Kobe fist
Yeah.
pump.
And then I got Garen third, like all around guy. You know, like they're the first seed for a reason. He's one of the big pieces for that. And then if a team goes to 500, like the Hornets, I got Archu up there too. Like,
Okay.
gotta give him his respect. You're like,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And he
He's
meets
there.
the requirements. He's at 5 games, so he does
Yeah.
meet the requirements.
yeah,
Yeah, I think if Arju was 100% healthy throughout the whole season,
difference.
it'd be a different.
Yeah, it's a different
orange
beast.
team. It'd be
A
different beast
fully
for sure.
healthy Archu is a beast of
Yeah.
a game
different
plan.
level player.
Yeah,
Big
for sure.
difference.
All right. Consensus here. I got Z. Actually, I got Joe as my number one option.
go,
I think
Joe.
since I mean, we got in a little spat last game. He got angry at me because I said he had no handles. That's not what I said, Joe. But that's fine. I love it.
Oh, you clarify what you said. You lit a fire under him. Actually,
Yeah, I lit a fire. I liked it though.
worked out well for
I
us.
like when Joe's like salty a little bit. No, I just said like, if he's dribbling, I'd rather him dribbling than shooting. Like he's
For
a
sure.
problem if
Yeah.
he's pulling. If he's trying to take the ball, try to beat a guy off the dribble, go at it. There's help. When Joe's in a mood and he's just gone nuclear, you're not sending a second guy to help when he's pulling up from that deep.
Right.
So that's a tough matchup for that. And why he's number one is because you guys were, I don't know, 3-game losing streak. It was like
without him.
and then he showed up, and now you guys are on a run right now
Yeah,
with him.
5-game winning streak.
Right, 5-game winning streak. So that's why I think Joe's on there, number one. And then I got my boy Z. Can't call me a homer on this
Yeah.
one. He sets the tone and he cleans up all of our misses.
Yep.
He gets the line. He does well. And then
I don't know if that guy drinks an energy drink or something before the game, but he's got so much
Yeah,
energy.
he's got- I
Watching
mean,
that guy get up and down.
he's probably the youngest guy in the league,
He's
than
always in the mix of
Yeah.
getting the rebound, and he's always up and down the court. Like,
yeah.
talk about young legs there, man.
He's gonna take
Shit.
us like if we want to get to where we need to. Like him, and we got some other guys to talk about. But yeah, he's definitely the focal point. Like he's the guy that
Sure, yeah.
that makes no one can replace what he does on our team. And then my last guy, who might be a little biased just because I played him last week and he cooked us in the first half.
Yeah.
But I got Vishnu from the Bucks. They're a 500 team,
Yeah.
so I could see why maybe he wouldn't get some votes, but Chris has been hurt for the entire season. You take that guy off that team, and I think they're with the Kings.
Below the Kings.
That
probably.
bad?
Below the Kings.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't. If
Damn.
like honest question, if you
Vishnu's
take
my guy, though,
if you
so-
take Vishnu off that team,
Yeah.
and Chris has been hurt, right? Do they have 4 wins?
Yeah, no disrespect to the Bucks team, but Vishnu's been playing. He's been balling this
That's what
season.
I'm saying.
He's hit a couple buzzer beaters.
Yeah,
now.
he hit
Yeah.
that buzzer beater
Wild.
that was crazy
Versus
off
the
a
Raptors,
timeout.
yep.
Yeah.
There was 2 guys like ran an elevator screen for him. He turned, hit, didn't even look at the basket, heaved it, banged it in. So I think you gotta give him some consideration. But the main thing is they gotta continue to win. They can't drop below 500.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, especially with Chris D'Souza out.
yeah, I mean he came back. He came back last season, but it's gonna be a slow ramp up to get to fully healthy Chris.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah. That, I
Or
mean, that,
even the wild card game actually, because they're right in the mix. at
yeah,
that
they're right in
spot
the mix.
now.
I mean, it's so tight.
Yeah.
So I think we did well with the MVP candidates. I don't think we missed anyone. And like I said,
if we're doing honorable mentions,
All right, yeah, let's do an
I'd like to
honorable
throw
mention.
I'd like to throw Arish in there.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
he's averaging 15.9 points, 9.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists.
yeah,
He puts up the stats.
he's the player. He's the
They
point
just need
forward for that
more
team.
wins. They just need more wins.
They just need more
Yeah,
wins.
they just need
Yeah,
more
that's a good
wins.
honorable
Yeah.
mention. We can transition to defensive player of the year. This one, I feel like we're gonna be all over the place because with defense, you can't always go with stats.
Right.
You got to watch a lot of the games, see guys, how they're holding other guys down. So I'll start off on your side.
So I think it's like I also give it Z. I think he
Yeah,
could go
Z.
MVP and DPOI. Like he's just incredible. Like
Yeah.
he's like second in steals in the league.
Yeah.
Second
as a
steals.
big,
Like,
too.
and he's got bare offensive, defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just incredible what he's doing off the glass. And if his blocks was just like up at 1 per game, like he'd run away with it. Like
Yeah.
there's no one that would be close to him if that was the case.
Yeah.
But I can also give it to Thanu on the Blazers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
playing
one of
like
my
young
picks.
Thanu.
Yeah,
One of my
yeah,
picks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like just defensive beast. Is get into people's heads all the time, talking
Yeah.
to people. Like that's also like it's an underrated part, you know, like
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
mind games, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Like a Draymond Green type of player, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the guys I have for DPOI.
All right.
Nobody likes those kind of players.
Yeah. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lou, you want to?
Yeah. So me, I have Thanu, third in steals, fifth in blocks, right? Absolute beast on the defensive end, right? 6.8 rebounds, 2.4 steals a game. He's a pretty good defensive player. And
He's always has been.
he's like the
always has
captain of the defense on that
Yeah,
team.
he always has
I
been.
definitely think so. And also I got Braden, aka Pluto.
Pluto. I got him on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him on mine.
Pluto's like the anchor on that Sixers team, right? Tied for third in steals as well. Fourth in blocks, 8.1 rebounds and 2.4 steals.
I would also say he's probably the only one on the Sixers team that plays defense.
Yeah. Ooh, hot take.
At me, Jake.
hot take. But that's my two guys.
No, okay. Randy.
Yeah,
what you got?
me. So I got two guys here. The first guy, I got Adrian from the Suns. Actually
Yep.
leads the league in
Yeah,
steals.
leads in the steals,
And, he's just got that veteran presence locking down as far as a
Yeah.
guard goes. And then I also choose a big. And I'm a little bit biased on this one again, too. But I'm going with my boy, Phil Levy.
Phil Levy.
Hey.
This guy is mid-40s and holding it down.
Mr.
He's
Old
had
School,
some-
Mr. Old School.
Yeah.
He's had some mean blocks this season.
It's his
that have
positioning.
just been
It's his positioning. That whole
monstrous.
Yeah. Positioning with
Last
him.
week against Archu.
It's the headband.
Yeah. It's the headband. Forget the 20 plus years of competitive basketball. It's the headband.
No, but anybody who's in their mid 40s swatting buckets like that,
Yeah.
geez, you got to give him some credit there. And he's right up there in the blocks overall in the season. So that's my pick as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll start off with Braden. I agree with you.
Yeah, Pluto,
I
man.
think
Pluto.
he provides a lot of versatility for that Sixer team.
Yeah.
He hides a lot of their
Yeah.
their weaknesses on defense. He protects a lot of blow by. So definitely, I agree with you on Braden.
Yeah.
You know, you can call me a homer here, but
Oh my God, here we go.
Chad does.
We're starting to notice a trend here, Ray.
Where if I don't look out for my guys, who will? Chad is his versatility.
Yeah.
And what I've seen him do one-on-one and in help, you know, don't get me wrong, Z's, you know, second in steals,
Yeah.
the defensive rebounding
Yeah.
for sure. But someone's got to guard the guys on the perimeter.
Yeah, no,
and
Chad's
he's
a baller.
switchable. So that's why I'm throwing Chad in on there. So Chad, Braden.
Yep.
And then I'll give the old man Thanujan a shout out. I think
man.
he's the physicality. A lot of these guards, they don't know how to deal with.
Yeah.
And he's tested.
Yeah.
He's like not dirty, but nasty.
Brings energy,
with
tons of
his
energy.
body. Like he gets into guys' personal space. They don't like it. And you know him. He's going to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Once he's got an edge, he's going to talk. He's going to talk to them. He's going to talk to the refs.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm putting Thanujan in on that.
Playing him today.
Are you playing him today?
Playing him today. I'm
Just
just gonna
don't get those guys activated, man.
Yeah.
Let them
I'm
do
gonna
their
try to
thing.
avoid
Yeah,
him.
you
He's on the
got a tough like that
Don't
guy's
get
gonna
those
get in
guys
your
activated,
space.
He's on the
man.
right side of the zone. I'm going to the left side. Go staying away from him.
No. If they come out man and Thanujan, that's the other thing too. A lot of these guys, you want to take the challenge. You can't just call yourself a defensive player of the year and like just hide and be a help defender
Yeah.
and cheat and get blocks. You want to take that challenge. Thanujan's the type of guy who's going to take that challenge. So
Yeah, they're picking up Vishnu half court.
yeah.
Right at half court.
exactly.
Didn't let him cross the line, really.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move off to a topic I know very, very well. We're going to talk about GM of the year.
Hey.
You know, so Lou, what was that?
I was gonna say, let me start it off.
You want to start off?
start off?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I'll
Randy,
start
start
off.
off.
Go
It's mine. I think mine's a very clear cut one. Thunder, for whatever obvious reasons, they are not in the mix, in my opinion. But I mean, it's a very clear cut one. I think Blazers, Mr. Sarin, going for back-to-back GMs of the year, has built himself a solid squad,
Yeah,
top
yeah.
to
Solid
bottom.
squad.
And they're looking poised to hold down the first number one spot, which they've had the whole season.
Yeah.
And my guy Sarin, he's done a good job being that GM player role. That's it.
Yeah. I think the only reason why I would disagree is because they had a big injury and then somebody had to replace. And I
And they upgraded.
After that, Garen came in and
Questionable replacement, Mr. G.
Questionable replacement. Commissioner pulling some BS.
I don't know how he got into the league.
Yeah,
I don't know how
Commissioner pulling some BS.
right? So if it wasn't for that injury, shout out Gillespie. But if it wasn't for that injury, I think
it was a bad
it wouldn't
injury.
be such a strong team. Because Garen is
Yeah,
he's a
it
dog.
was a game
He's
changer.
He's a baller.
Right?
He's a
So
different
for my GM of the year, I'd have to go with Ayub. Ayub for the Wolves, right? They didn't change their team much, right? Their team has gotten better along the way, I think. They started using pieces that they didn't really use in the beginning. So I think it has to go to Ayub for sure.
Yeah, I went with the same thing. Ayub as well. Like he's keeping them intact to the best he could. They're always gonna talk trash.
Oh yeah, my favorite players on that team.
Ali.
Doing his best to keep them in, like keep them playing, keep them going. They're what are they? Third seed in the league.
Third seed, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a
third.
really good job.
I'll give a shout out to Ayub, for sure, because there's a lot of personalities on that team.
Yeah.
They're talented. Like you got to get guys like Falcons coming off the bench. That guy would start on a lot of teams.
A lot of teams.
So you got to manage personalities, and that team talks a lot. I love it. We love watching Ali.
So entertaining.
So entertaining. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks. The Bucks GM because again, that's a team that didn't have to add any players. They had to deal with injury.
Yep.
I know he practices with his teams. Like he was running scrimmages 2 to 3 weeks before the season started against other teams.
They put in the work.
So they were like, he took it seriously. He was getting those guys already, building up chemistry, and it's not easy to lose a guy like Chris for I don't know how many games he did. So I'll give him. I think that's an honorable mention. Like he's right there. He's right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you gonna spill the beans about why you're not in the mix of that GM?
Why you like in
GM Ray
What do you
not
like?
disqualified?
3-time GM of the year?
Coach
You can't. There's no coach of the year, So
Ray.
I'm
No coach of
I'm
the
just the coach. Evan's the GM of the team. Stop trying to tear us down from the inside.
That goes playoff time,
playoff time.
Like you said before, it's mind games right now.
Yeah, I know. That's you guys worried about the Thunder. You can't tear us down from the inside. No Trojan horses over here. We're good. We're solid. We're gonna move on to the next segment and talk about actual playoffs. And so I know everyone here knows, but when you guys are watching, by the time you guys see this on YouTube, we gotta lay out what the actual playoff picture looks like. So there's 14 teams in the league, but unfortunately, 4 teams will miss. One of the 4 is right here.
Kings.
So the 4 teams will miss out.
Shout out to the Kings for getting their first dub of the
Yeah,
season.
the first dub.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
That's a big one. You didn't want to go. We don't want to go
You
over.
don't want to go win this in 10 games. Come on.
In the history of the league, I think we've only had one over. The Spurs.
What
The Spurs in season
Hornets last
Hornets.
season?
Oh,
too?
Hornets! I
yeah.
totally forgot about the Hornets. Yeah, so you don't want to be on that wall of
Yeah, I
shame.
did not want to be there.
Yeah. So 10 teams. 10 teams are going to make it in. So 4 teams are out. 10 teams make it in. But seeds 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the wild card. They're going to have to play in for the coveted 7th and 8th seed. So that's gonna be some really exciting games.
Yeah, definitely.
As of right now, I'm just going to use the current standings that we have, 1 through 10, because things could change on the fly. But I want us to just use the first 10. But in terms of like the bottom 4, what do you guys think? Like, who do you think, other than the Kings, because we know they're mathematically out, who do you guys think are going to be the 4 that are the remaining 3 that aren't in the playoffs?
Yeah, I gotta say Raps, Cavs, unfortunately, and Heat. I think Hornets still get in.
You think Hornets get in?
Yeah, I think they have the advantage over the Heat point differential wise. So
Yeah.
Don't they have the head?
I think they have the head to head too.
Yeah,
Actually, I think Hornets.
head-to-head.
Yeah, I think Hornets beat Heat as well.
Yeah,
So
so-
yeah,
It's gonna be like those 4 teams
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
out.
yeah.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Those teams, I don't think they just had enough to really get in, and it's been a long season
Yeah.
for them.
You got to look at the early.
They got to rebuild, figure out
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You got when
Jump
you look
down
back,
a tier, jump
drop
up a
down a tier.
tier.
Yeah, you got to look at those early season losses. Like if you're the Raptors, that game, that buzzer beater,
Yeah.
that Vishnu hit, that could change.
Change a lot,
Now
yeah.
you got an extra win. You're in a fighting spot.
Yeah,
There's
and
all
that one win makes a big difference.
that
too.
one win
Huge
makes a big difference.
difference,
Not having a guy show up on your team when you only have 5 guys, and that 6th guy would have made a difference from getting rest.
Yep.
It's a long season. These games matter. It's only 10 games, so they matter.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're all in agreement on those guys.
Yeah.
Raps, Kings, Heat, Cavs.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I will say that top 10, and Randy, you've been around almost as long as I have. I've been around since season 1. But I will say this is the most parity I've ever seen in the league. From 1 through 10, any of those guys can knock off one of the top teams. Like just looking at it,
Yep.
the Hornets.
Yeah, I agree.
If the Hornets is a first round matchup. If you're the Blazers, you got to play
Proper.
Archu, Bucky,
It's gonna
Jabro,
be
Alvin.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close fight to the end,
Definitely.
and I totally agree with you. We got some teams here that could do some damage and really knock off a top seed, and it'll be interesting come playoff time to see what happens.
When have you seen a 10th seed that has a plus point differential?
Scary.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's how
Definitely.
competitive. Aside from the Blazers and Thunder that have just the one loss, everyone's just one game apart. So I think it's gonna be a competitive playoffs. I hate giving the commissioner any love, but this is by far the most amount. This is by far the most amount of parity I've ever seen in this league.
and that's good. That's what you want, right? You don't
Yeah.
want 1 or 2 teams rolling over the entire.
Right, you don't want-
everybody else.
Exactly. You
And,
want competitive games.
Yeah, you want some competitiveness.
Anybody can win this. Looking at these teams, anyone can win.
Yeah, for sure.
Be a dogfight.
Before we move on, actually, what went wrong? What happened?
Let's talk about it.
We'll talk about it. What happened?
Talk about it.
What
So-
happened?
We just came in with high hopes. Like everyone's saying like we're gonna go 10-0, 10-0. That was
And then the Thunder brought you guys back down to earth on the first game of the season.
So
Do you
I'm-
think? I got a question. Do you think maybe it's a little bit of your first time being a GM that you
Yeah,
kind of like
it's tough,
just
yeah.
trying to figure it out? Because I know the first time I was it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I got lucky. Shout out to my guys on the Clippers. But,
Oh yeah, those are seasoned guys.
But it's not
Yeah.
easy to put a team together, right? And
Yeah, it
plus, you got to
wasn't.
get it bought by the commissioner too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of hurdles to come over.
Yeah, so basically, I was just trying to get everyone to join, and then we're all younger guys, right? Everyone
Yeah.
wants to play,
Yeah.
and I can't really manage everyone's minutes while I'm on the court as well,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
hard,
that was like
super hard.
tough, and then everyone was just like thought this would be easier than we expected, right?
Yeah.
Like no one really thought of it as 7-1 team like Blazers or Thunder. Everyone thought it would be like 4-4, like something
yeah.
like that, right? So we thought we would be in the mix, but after the Thunder loss, everyone was like, "Oh no, this is not. We shouldn't have won." Chemistry went down after that game, and then the Bucks loss happened.
Yeah.
And then we got blown out by the Sixers, and everyone
Yeah.
just like it was like over after that. Like
Yeah.
no one thought we would have a chance to make it after that. Like everyone's morale was just down. Like
Well, like you said, right? It's not
It's a
easy
learning
being a player
experience,
coach.
for sure.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's a tough role.
I should have brought Ray in.
Yeah.
Should have gave you that 40 mil.
Yeah, I'm a free agent next year. Don't worry, I'm a free agent next year.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Come on, all teams. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is glue guys, best glue guys. These are the guys you need for championship runs. The guys who are gonna take a back seat, even though they have the talent to do more. You know what? I'll start this one off because I let you guys start off, but. Shout out to Surin, man. Like he's
Oh, he's
he's got
still
the
my
best.
guy.
No. I'm not saying Surin. I'm saying adding this guy, Nabil.
Oh, okay.
No, I've seen Nabil on a few runs, and like he's just one of those hard nosed guys.
Got to steal the win.
Got to
game against
steal,
the Bucks.
game winning steal.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
he's what game was it? Not that game winning game,
Yeah.
but it was a game where shot went up. He bodied like 2 guys out of the way, got the rebound.
Yep.
He probably had a layup, but he kicked it out to Rishi.
Yeah.
Made the 3. Like those are like those plays where you're just not doing it for stats. You're like not doing it for recognition. You're just playing basketball and you're just playing hard. So Nabil is my guy. I love the way he plays. And guy that not too many people are gonna know about, but we watch a lot of games on the Suns, Jan. Like he is very versatile, does what he needs to do, comes off the bench sometimes. Like he could do more, but he's playing perfect, he's playing hard. And then give you your flower, not you personally, but everyone on your team that's not named Lumar or Jaden. You got a bunch
Shout
of
out to
guys. You guys are a bunch of guys that just play hard, play the right way. And you could tell that you guys are all boys. Like there's no egos. You guys
Yeah,
are
the
just playing
chemistry's
hard.
there.
The
That's for
chemistry's
sure,
there.
yeah.
That's good.
For sure. Let's kick it to you.
Yeah, so I think it's Ayub. I know we're giving him GM like love already, but I think just same thing, like keeping those guys hungry, keeping those guys like intact, trying to play like the right way at the end of the day, keeping them still at a 5-3, not let the egos get too much, still making them get wins. And I'll give a little shout out, even though like the Cavs still have a chance. They show up.
If they show up.
They have a chance, but Akash, like he definitely like does all the dirty work for them, gets all the steals. Like what is he, top 10 in steals for them as well?
He's a beast,
Yeah,
bro.
like
He's a
I'll give
beast.
him some props, even though he's my cousin. I know people might think it's biased,
Nah,
but
he's
Hey,
a
man,
beast.
no one's
bro.
gonna big up your guys. You got to, so don't worry about it.
yeah,
This whole podcast could be a Thunder podcast.
Hey, you guys haven't won anything yet, all right? Settle down over there.
Yeah, I know. I remind these guys. Randy, who you got as your?
Yeah, I mean, like I keep kind of repeating names, but I gotta go with Seren for the best glue guy. His team's number
Solid
one,
big.
and I think he's a big reason why. For
sure.
Obviously, they have some pieces, but he's just a solid big. He's setting good screens. Like the commissioner said, some good IQ there. Solid defense, and he's just doing a good job keeping everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
I think he's pulling them aside, looking at the clipboards, talking about what could have been, what happened. So shout out to Seren and Blazers. They're doing a great job over there.
Yeah, 100%.
Who
Yeah,
you got, Lou?
I got Blazers. We're going Blazers again.
Yeah.
Blazers. I think Blazers just like the
I mean,
Jazz.
there's a reason why.
Whole bunch of guys that play basketball the
Yeah.
right way. You know what I mean? My guy is Gauch.
Gauch.
For one reason only. It's just when the Blazers are kind of, I find something that they cannot be as serious.
Yeah.
Right, because they're usually up in games a lot.
Yeah.
And I find Gauch, he's just always locked in. He's always high energy. He's always playing proper defense. He's always rotating whenever he needs to rotate. He's always locked in, and he always runs the floor, which makes it easier for guys like Garen and guys like Thanu when they get the rebound. They can just
look up.
outlet it to Gauch, and Gauch is right there. Right, he just knows how to play the game right. And we're gonna go to the Heat. First, I mentioned the Heat. We're gonna go to Madhu.
Okay.
Madhu from the Heat. I think Madhu's a lot better than advertised stats wise. And obviously that's because you got both Juthis and Natharshan who are amazing at basketball, especially on the offensive side. But I think Madhu's a guy who probably takes a back seat. Maybe took a back seat too many times this season, which is why they probably only have 3 wins. But I think he's a great basketball player. He's very physical. He's great on the glass. He even has a 3-point shot that not many people know about. So I gotta shout out Madhu for sure.
All right, we're gonna move on to underrated players. Guys that don't quite get the limelight. They're not maybe top in the standings in points, rebounds, but they're difference makers on their team, and they need to get their shine. So, Lou, I'll kick it back to you. You started.
Since he's my honorable mention for MVP, I don't have to say underrated. It's got to be Arish. Once again, he's a great leader on that squad. He's probably tallest or second tallest in the league right now.
Who'll be taller?
He's like probably 6'3", 6'4",
Who
I'd say.
would you say is
Arish.
taller?
Shit, he's that tall.
Mayu's probably around the same height on
Yeah,
the
they're
same
both-
team.
yeah.
6'3", 6'4".
I got a 6'4" guy on my team.
Yeah,
Rishi.
yeah.
Shout out to Rishi.
Rishi
Yeah, yeah.
6'4". Yeah, right. But the reason I mention is because Rishi is bringing up the ball. As
He's a point
guard.
forward.
He's bringing
Yeah.
the ball as a point guard, and he's he usually has the best defender on him, and he's
He will
he
today.
has- yeah. Oh, he will today. Yeah,
He will today.
right. And he's averaging 4.6 assists. Right.
Yeah.
Like when we played against the Lakers, we had to switch our defense so many times just because we weren't sure how to guard him. Like we tried to guard him one on one.
Yeah, he has a nice mid range too.
Wasn't working. His mid range
His
is so
nice
nasty,
mid-range.
right? And then once we started, like when he get a screen, we started like just absolutely selling out to make sure he get the ball in his hand. He started breaking that down. He started splitting. He started dropping off to Mayu, and I think Mayu had like 10 points against us, and Mayu and Eric had 10 points against just because of that.
Just
right.
finishing.
So it's I got to go with Rish for sure.
Okay. Let's go kick it
Yeah,
back to you.
so I'll give it to underrated players Vitushin, the Bucks.
Yeah.
Bro, he's just
That guy went nuclear last week on us.
like,
Big fan.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's too late, but he went still.
bro.
Sorry, go.
He's just like he brought back like a Blazers game. Like he brought them back. Like
he brought
didn't
them
give
back
up
by
the whole
himself.
game.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously, like the game winner, but like that should have been their win.
Yeah.
He played incredible. That
Hit
game.
clutch free throws into that game too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and against us too. Like I was hitting a 3 and I thought we were getting us back, and
No,
I don't know.
he
He's just
answered-
hitting a 3 like,
answered every
So
single
I was
time,
like, you know, like underrated guy too. Another underrated guy is Rishi, like on the Blazers.
Blazers.
I
Yeah.
don't think he gets talked about enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Great
disagree
shooter.
with you on that.
Yeah.
Great
Maybe
shooter.
it's because
Yeah.
I saw him in the finals last. Like I've seen
Yeah.
him many times.
Yeah.
I think he's got at least in my eyes, I got a healthy enough respect of what he
but
can
that's-
do.
Yeah.
But you're Ray, right?
Yeah.
Ray
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
everything.
I don't know about that. I don't know everything, but if you don't know about him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're in
But I
trouble.
feel like- I
You
feel
need
like
to know
people-
about that
People
guy.
don't really talk about him because of Garen, right?
yeah, Garen does get
Yeah, he gets all the attention, so no one really talks
No,
about
that guy is-
Because I'm watching these games, right? How is Rishi wide open? Like most of the
Wide
game. Like,
open.
Yeah.
me and Lou were talking about it
Yeah.
all the time. Like
Wide
he's wide
open.
open. Like,
Yeah.
Then there was 4 seconds left against
Yeah.
the Bucks, and he caught the ball wide open top of the key and
Exactly.
hit a clutch 3.
Exactly.
Well, I think with him, what differentiates him from other shooters is he doesn't get locked. If he doesn't get the ball, he'll still move around to get the ball.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Blazers run stuff for him to get off of a screen.
off-ball screens and
Off-ball
everything.
screens. So like, if you watch them, if you just sit down and watch the Blazers play, you'll see that he is a big focal point of what they do.
Yeah.
I disagree with you, but that's fine. I don't think that guy's underrated. I think that guy is
Yeah.
well rated.
Yeah. He's rated on the table at least.
Yeah, yeah,
For sure,
exactly.
for
Rate him
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially after last season.
Especially,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Coming off a championship.
Yeah,
So,
Yep.
for sure.
yeah, you got to rate him.
For sure. Randy, who you got?
Yeah. Sorry, I blanked out here.
No, it's all
most underrated, right?
Most underrated, yeah.
I'll start out with Chad from the Thunder.
All right.
I think Chad just plays well. He just plays the game the right way, and he always seems to have this calm demeanor.
Sometimes
which,
too calm for my liking, but yeah.
No, but he does a little bit of everything for you, which is really nice. And like I said, he plays the game the right way. I like his game, and I think when you're looking at that Thunder team, you're not necessarily looking at Chad. You're looking at everybody else like Z and whatnot. So I think he does a good job flying under the radar. And then I'm going to shout out also Bathushin.
Yeah.
I had no idea the guy could shoot like that.
Yeah. I didn't until Lou told me.
Yeah.
I was like, really, Lou?
You know
Him?
how many people I told about
Yeah,
him
and I
this
started
season?
watching. Yeah.
I told Seren, I said, Seren, the Bucks are going to come back, and it's going to be because of Vithushin. And he said, really? He's that good? I said, okay, just watch. This is halfway through the game. Seren didn't want to call no timeout.
I don't believe in timeouts.
I don't believe in timeout. And slowly but surely, the Bucks came back and should have won the game. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's funny because actually he was not on my radar at all until you mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the next game, I think it was against you. And
You're doing the table against us, right?
and
Yeah.
he hit some crazy
He had
threes.
4 deep
Some
Joe
deep
type threes. Yeah.
And again, another underrated player, especially when you're looking at that Bucks team. You're thinking of Vishnu and even Chris, who hasn't been there that
Yeah.
much, and you're not thinking of that guy necessarily. So
No, he slides in on the radar, definitely. Gonna talk my guy, Chad. Chad is my
Yeah,
underrated
here we
player.
go.
No one. I mean, here you go. But like, guys, who's the leading scorer on the Thunder?
Yeah. No, Chad's
It's
Chad's
not
a guy.
Z, it's Chad.
Chad's a guy.
Oh,
Chad's a
Right?
guy. Chad's a guy.
Chad's the leading scorer on the Thunder.
How much you averaging?
13.
13.
Yeah, he's averaging.
Chad's the guy.
Yeah, he's
Chad's
the
the
guy, and he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He brings the ball up the floor. He rebounds. He guards the best player. Chad does a lot of everything, but he slides under the radar because we play as a team on the Thunder for the most part.
For the most part.
Well, no, we got to clean up some things, man. We're still reckless with the ball. The Thunder lead the league in turnovers.
Oh,
I
yeah?
know that.
Yeah,
that
Thunder
always
lead the
trips
league
me
in
up.
turnovers.
That always
No
trips me
way.
up.
Yeah, because we're still like reckless with the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not trying to give away too many things on the Thunder, but Chad's my guy. I would say, and honorable mention just because I like this guy's game ever since he was playing for the Knicks in season 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Tev.
Tev.
From the Wolves. Tev from the Wolves.
Yeah.
I think that's a guy. I think he was joined as an add-on, right? Like he's not actually friends with all those guys on the Wolves,
not
right?
sure.
I think that's how it went down. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like-
free agent pickup.
Yeah, you could tell that he was just kind of learning the ropes with his
beginning.
guys. He didn't want to come in
Yeah.
as exert like, okay,
Yeah.
but that guy's really good. He's
Yeah.
really good. So he's my underrated player that no one talks about.
Yep.
Definitely.
All right, we're gonna go to X Factor. Now, X Factor player is a little bit different from underrated because underrated could be a guy who people don't quite know about, but an X Factor is going to be someone who on any given day can be the best player on the team, who can change a game completely. There probably will be some overlap because between guys, but I think X Factor. These are the guys you got to worry about come playoff time because
100%.
they've done nothing all regular season and then boom, they explode. I'll start this one off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with a Thunder player.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go with Javon.
Homer, Coach Homer.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to talk my guys up. I got this mic in front of me. I'm going to go with Javon. Javon is the type of guy that if he comes in motivated on the defensive end, does not let what happens on offense dictate what happens on defense, he is a problem. That guy is long, athletic. He can handle the ball, shoot.
It's true. I remember first game of the season.
Yeah.
He pinned. Was it Vishnu, you guys?
Vishnu,
Yeah. He pinned Vishnu.
The block
on the glass.
off the glass. Yeah.
Pinned him on the glass, and I haven't seen that Javon since that day.
That's what I'm saying.
On defense, at least.
Yeah, on defense. Like, there's no reason why he can't be in the defensive player of the year category talking. Like, he's the guy that he gets going. We're dangerous.
Yeah. He's like a coach's dream, right?
Yeah, he is. I can put him
Ceiling's
anywhere.
so high.
He can guard on any switches. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to, I think it was, I can't remember exactly what happened, but he ended up on Jamshed.
Yeah.
And he could guard Jamshed,
Yeah.
but then he can switch back on to Janajan. Like, he's universal.
Shout out Jamshed. He's another underrated player.
Yeah, he's
actually.
underrated for sure. That we'll talk about him.
Yeah,
We'll talk about him. I got him on here later. Go ahead. Who do you got
So
as
X Factor, I know, like Vithushan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have him for underrated player, but he can.
It's okay. We can have two. We can give that guy.
Microwave.
Microwave
Bro,
guy.
Yeah, he's a
Microwave
microwave
badge.
man.
Yeah.
I just watched him play like that Blazers game, man. Oh my god, like he just went off, like
Back to back.
bro, like without Chris as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a game of the year out there.
Yeah.
It was.
That was a crazy game. I was on the other court, and all I heard was
I know.
screaming.
He's
I was
going
like, what's going
crazy,
on over
man.
there?
He's going crazy.
Yeah, but he's just like another guy. Like if he gets hot, like there's nothing you can do, right? Like
Right.
if he's hot, he's hot. And like they're playing without Chris, so he really stepped up.
Yeah, he has
stepped
to.
really
up.
stepped
Yep.
up as that
Yep.
second scoring option for Vishnu.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I don't think without Vithushan they have like their wins as well, right?
No,
They need both.
absolutely.
Those
They need
guys.
both.
Yeah.
They need both those guys, and
Yeah.
like
A healthy Chris, him, and
Oh,
Vishnu.
game changer.
Yeah, game changer.
Those three guys, that's a tough out
Yeah.
come playoff time. Because they got auxiliary guys that can do stuff too. It's
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
those three.
yeah.
Lou, who you got?
For X Factor,
Yeah.
since you said Vithushan, that's one of my guys, right? But since you said Vithushan, I'll go Darius. Darius from the Sixers.
yeah.
There's
Darius super shifty. I don't think there's many guys in the league that can even just guard him one-on-one,
No,
man to
no.
man.
Shout out Lifetime. He's a lifetime hooper.
Lifetime.
Super shifty. He's like a mid-range god, kind of plays like Tevin in a way.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I can see
And,
the comp.
And unselfish, honestly. Like I think like he can be more selfish on that team, but he's super unselfish. Every time they're on fast breaks, and they're always up big, but anytime they're on fast break, he'll literally just dump it off to whoever's next to him.
Yeah.
Right? Take
I
the
do like
assist,
his game.
taking the
You can
points.
definitely average like 20 points.
Yeah,
Like,
he
Yeah.
could.
I mean,
if he wanted to.
if he was on the Kings,
Yeah.
like
30 points a game.
yeah, they're in the playoffs if he's on
Yeah.
the Kings.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right, but he's definitely the X factor. I think he's actually leading the Sixers in points. To be
Yeah?
honest. Yeah, he's definitely the X factor.
Probably
Come on.
efficient too.
Yeah,
He's
super
probably
efficient.
yeah.
Super efficient. Super efficient.
Randy, who you got?
My X factor is I'm on your books there with the Thunder, the Javon.
Javon? All right.
Yeah, I've seen this guy have some really good games on both ends of the floor, and then I've seen him not even be anywhere.
Yeah.
I've actually just seen him just ride the bench. So
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the W.
But
Coach Homer.
no, you get that guy locked in. That's another X factor on that Thunder team that really makes the big difference. And yeah, I mean, he's long, he's lanky, he does it all, and that's about it.
All right. So we're gonna move on to this category next. When I was doing this category, I was like, is this even a debate? But
It's
I'll put
not.
it.
Not really.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in anyway. The best 3-point shooter in the league, just because there's other people. I know for sure there's other people in the league that think they're the best shooter.
Yeah.
And they need to know
They
what,
need
what's
to
up.
know.
What's up?
I'm gonna give you the stats right now.
Okay, give me the stats. So this is for best 3-point shooter.
So
Just,
first you say the name, and I'll give you the stats.
okay. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go with Joe.
Joe.
Uncle Joe is
My
the best
guy.
3-point shooter in the
Joe
league.
is the best shooter in the league by far. But here's the stats, right? On 68 attempts, he's shooting 46% from three.
From 68 attempts.
68 attempts. He's shooting 46%.
Help me out with my
from
math.
three.
What is that as a percentage?
46%.
That's almost. That's almost. He's almost hitting one shot for every two shots from three.
And those aren't like hugging the line threes.
No.
Those threes are like well off the line.
Yep.
And at this point, everybody already knows he's a shooter, so they're
Yes.
all over him,
Yes.
and he's still
And he's
managing
still
to get off
doing
these
it.
shots.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Joe again on the Warriors. He's got to bring us to the promised land this year. You hear it here first, Joe. Not a lot of people know his resume. They don't know his resume.
No.
Yeah.
And
No.
so, you know, this guy has an extensive resume when it comes to basketball, and he's by far the best three-point shooter in the
45
league.
years old.
Is he 45?
Pushing 45.
Yeah, pushing
my
45.
God.
Yeah. And so, he's just, you know, when I was in college, he showed up and he was just lighting up college players in the 3-point line, and he was older at that time. Too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
No, that guy can get
priced.
cooking real quick.
yeah.
And it's hard to cool him off. So we're all in agreement.
Joe's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. we're all- okay. So now that we got,
Let's argue second best.
Yeah. Let's argue
Let's
second
talk
best.
about the second best.
Okay. So who's the second best shooter in the league?
So just off, like without looking at stats,
Mm-hmm.
just off of ability alone, I'm going to go with Vithushin because Vithushin, like we said, he's the microwave of the league. Like he can get hot in a
Mm-hmm.
second. And once he gets hot, he does not miss. And he's probably the best at answering threes.
Yeah. Him and Rishi got going in a back.
Yeah, it was like back to
war.
back. It was like tray ball,
Yeah.
tray ball, tray ball, tray ball,
Yeah.
right? And I think the only reason why I didn't keep going because I think Vithushin decided to pass it back to Vishnu. Right? So yeah, that's definitely my guy for best shooter. The stats are, you know, I think there's probably one more person that's ahead of him stat wise, but still I think he's just more pure in my opinion. Vithushin is.
What about Arjun from the Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that team's
Yeah.
got some shooters on there too. But yeah, Arjun for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know
on
too
there.
much about the Wolves, but Arjun's shooting about 42%.
Yeah, on
He's a
61
lefty,
attempts.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on 61 attempts.
Yeah, no,
with
he's a
good
glasses
shooter.
on.
That was-
With glasses on.
That was actually my choice for like a guy that no one knows about who can shoot. Because I think we all in this league we all know the three main guys.
Main guys.
Vithushin and Rishi on the Blazers.
Yeah, Rishi.
I think those three everyone knows, but Arjun's right there. He's right there in the conversation.
Yep.
And just to put things in perspective too, you know, we're talking about that abilities.
Yeah.
FIBA core,
Yeah, it's a FIBA
right?
3.
Yeah.
And it's a FIBA 3. That's
Yep.
a deep,
Yeah, it's not a high. I don't even know how many
three.
people like know that. That's not a high school or a college. It's actually
not.
deeper.
Yeah.
It's the FIBA line.
It's a long 3.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Now you know.
Now you know.
I know.
Yeah, now you
I did
know.
not know that. That's why it feels different when I poop there.
Yeah. It's you need more of your
When I
legs.
shoot it, it feels like I'm like way back. Like
yeah.
I'm playing at OTU, like
Oh, yeah.
Ontario Tech over there.
Yeah.
Like it just feels different.
Yeah.
It's
Whenever I come
a
down here.
way further line. All right, so we're gonna stick on the category of shooting.
Yep.
Who's the best midi? Who's a midi demon out here?
My guys.
I'll start off first on this one.
Yeah.
I got Jamshed.
Yeah.
Could he possibly
Yeah.
be the best brother out of the three?
Nah.
I just like to stir the pot. I just like it. Nah,
They're all good though.
they're all really good. Yeah,
though.
but
They're all good.
Jamshed's he's a mid-range
His
demon.
midi's the
Yeah, his
nicest.
midi is the
His
nicest.
midi's
That's my
been very
my
nice.
pick.
Yes.
You got to do a 3v3. My bros
Yeah.
versus their bros.
Right? The originals versus the newbies.
I got you.
Might
Guys.
be a little bit too.
I got you guys.
Yeah.
That 3v3 might be a little bit too much ISO game though.
It'd be a
Everybody
lot
wants
of
to get
ISO.
buckets.
It'd be a lot of
Everyone's gonna go
ISO.
get
A lot
their
of
own.
buckets.
Yeah.
It's be an ISO game.
A lot of buckets, man.
Lou, who you got?
Best midi, I gotta go Darius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gotta go
Darius is.
I'm with the
Right?
same thing as well.
You got
Yeah,
Darius as
I gotta
well?
go
Ajax
Darius,
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go Darius.
Yo, Darius
man.
shooting about 55%.
Yeah,
as a
he's
guard.
Stupid numbers.
Yeah.
Stupid numbers.
He's
right?
very
Like,
efficient.
Yeah, like
Very
he's
efficient.
the reason why like everyone likes to go zone against the Sixers, but he's the reason why you can't really play zone against him because
Because you just
Darius,
run through.
He's a problem.
Darius is
Yeah.
playing the
His
high
range is
post,
nice.
and he's just
Mid-range.
he's 1-on-1 against the
Mid-range
big man.
nice.
Yeah.
Just
like what you said earlier, like he can just stop on a dime. Like off
yeah,
the crossovers,
so
stop on a dime,
shifty.
just
Yeah,
up.
great
Mid-range
finish
good.
at the net too.
Yeah.
But mid-range demon, that's definitely Darius for me.
Randy, who you got?
Mid-range shooter, I had Darius, but I mean, just looking at that Sixers team overall, they got some bare shooters on that
Yeah,
team.
they've got.
Like,
They're. Yeah.
There's a lot of people we didn't mention on the Malaire brother.
Yeah. Shout out to Malaire bros.
Jake's a 3-pointer as well. These guys got a lot of shooters that just make them very dangerous. And but Darius, as far as his midi goes, shooting 55% as a guard, that's just absurd.
Yeah.
And leading this team in points, you got to go with that guy for the mid-range shooters.
Yeah.
Tevin as well.
Yeah,
he's got a nice mid-range. He definitely has a nice mid-range.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think I asked this question because we're just doing individual, but well, this is gonna be for the three of us, not all of us.
Yeah.
We're going into the playoffs. We've got about 2 games left. Who are some of the teams that, you know, as the GMs of your teams? You're like the GM of the team, Randy.
Co-GM.
Co-GM. You know, what are some of the teams that you're like, that's a tough out? Like what's a team? I don't want to say a team you're scared of. I don't think we're all scared of any teams, but what's a team where you're like, oh, that's a tough out?
I think it's very clear cut the Thunder for sure, just because you guys are young, athletic, and you guys have a proven record, 7-1 as of today. And it's like, you don't want to face a team like that. Obviously, the Blazers are up there too, but you know, just for the Warriors' perspective, we've played the Blazers at the beginning of the season, so we know somewhat a little bit of what to expect. I think I'm a little bit more familiar with those guys too, whereas the Thunder have a lot more new faces to ETBL that are just unproven yet. And they've shown a great track record right now, but we're not at the finish line yet.
Right. And they're very experienced, so playoffs is a different animal. Lou, who do you got?
I'm rocking with the Thunder as well, man. I do not want to see the Thunder in the playoffs. I just simply don't have an answer for Z. It's a big, big issue for us, right? And then if we do focus on Z, then it frees up a lot more people. I think Tariq popped off on us when we played you guys.
Tariq popped off on you, yeah.
Tariq hit like 3 threes, back to back. Yeah.
And Lou, I got something for you. You know, Chad wasn't there that game.
And Chad wasn't even there.
Chad wasn't there that game.
Yeah. I do not want to see the Thunder, to be honest.
For us, I think we could always say I'm always thinking the worst case scenario. So there's a bunch of teams, but I think Sixers. I think the Sixers match up well with us. They're young, transition game, just like us. I think that's a team that will give us our toughest out. I know Jake wants that one back as well.
Yes.
He definitely wants that one back. So, you know, I think this was fun. Hopefully we get to do this again.
Definitely.
So just some closing comments. Like I said, guys, this was just for fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't get, if you guys are if you're watching this and you're in your feelings, prove us wrong, go out, get the W. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, you know, hit the notification button, give us a like, drop some comments in the comment section. We want to debate too. Let the commissioner know if you want to be on the next one. If we do a next one, let us know. You know, we could switch up the panel. And registrations for the next season starts soon. You can sign up at www.etbl.ca or DM on Instagram at East_Toronto_basketball_league. So hopefully I gave you guys all the information and this was fun. We should do it again.
This was great.
This was fun. It's fun. Shout out ETBL. Just getting better every season.
Every season it's getting better. The parity this season was amazing.
The competition, the location.
The website is like, look at other leagues' websites. This website is the cleanest website.
It's getting the stats up there quick too. Like quick turnaround for the stats. Like,
ETL keeps raising the bar as far as men's league, Toronto basketball goes.
The commissioner didn't pay us to say that.
Yeah.
It's just us.
I ain't getting paid enough.